One of the ways I use ChatGPT is to write emails because it helps me save time and write better emails. So in this video, what I want to do is to show you how you can use ChatGPT to write better emails. And I'll walk you through an example of how I've used ChatGPT to find a supplier for a new product I want to launch. First, let me tell you how you can use ChatGPT to write emails. ChatGPT is pretty helpful to write first draft, whether it's an email, whether it's the copy for a website page. It is quite good at giving you this kind of raw, interesting first draft. So you can do that in several ways. You can use it to write a new email, to write the follow-up to an email, or to respond to an email that you just received. Then you can use it to improve your draft. Whether it's because you want to gain clarity or whether it's because you want to make sure that there is no spelling mistake, because ChatGPT is quite nice to correct the spelling mistakes that can be in your drafts. It is better than what you could get with Word or Grammarly. ChatGPT in English especially is quite good to reword as well. So let's dive into an example of how I've used it. To give you a bit of context, I'm looking for a new supplier for a leather accessory project I'm working on. And to save a bit of time, I got ChatGPT to write me this intro email. I got this big list of potential suppliers. I need to contact them to get some first information to introduce myself and understand better what they do. So what I did is I asked ChatGPT to write an intro email to a new supplier for a leather accessory project. I wanted it to include some important information I need to know about the supplier. To make sure that ChatGPT clearly understands what the email is about and who is actually the audience, what I like to do is to spell it clearly. So the audience here is a leather manufacturer. The author is myself, so Guerric, who is the founder of Blanc. And I'm going to tell it what it is, which is a brand that makes high quality t-shirts. So after I've just hit generate, ChatGPT gave me a pretty good first draft to this email, giving me 3 paragraphs, one introducing myself, the other one explaining why I'm contacting them, and then the third one requesting some more information about the company, including their process, the type of materials they use to work, and possibly some pricing range and lead times. This is actually a good first draft. What I can do is, just in case ChatGPT could come up with another answer, is regenerate the response. Just to see if there is another way to approach writing this email. In just a little bit of time, ChatGPT gives me another potential way. It looks to me that the first one was actually better. So here what I quite like is the aspect that ChatGPT is emphasizing. It's not just about high quality, it's also about this environmentally friendly. And it is also talking about the fact that we want suppliers that share values, transparency, sustainability, and fair trade practices, which is the reason why I'm looking for a new supplier in Portugal. I'm quite happy with that first draft. So what I'm going to do is copy paste it, customize the name of the supplier, and send it to the database of potential suppliers that I have found. After I have emailed a few suppliers for this leather accessory that I'm trying to make, I got a few response backs, and one of them is the one that I'm going to use in order to demonstrate how you can use ChatGPT to write the response to an email. For that, I'm going to ask ChatGPT to reply to this email that I just got by asking for more information. And this information that I'm interested in are minimum quantity, which is quite important when you get to know a new supplier. So minimum quantity orders, the production process. And I'm actually going to ask ChatGPT to come up with some potential other criteria that are important when choosing a supplier who manufactures leather products. And then what I'm going to do is basically copy pasting the email that I got. So ChatGPT is now creating the answer so ChatGPT is now creating the response to the email that it just got. It starts with a thank you paragraph and tells the supplier some of the interesting and important criteria I'm interested in. And so it basically talks about the minimum quantity order, the lead time for manufacturing, which I didn't include, which is quite important, payment terms, as well as some certifications. What I can see is there's a bit of a glitch here. Because it basically tells it very directly to the supplier that I'm interested in learning more about minimum orders, product process, and other criteria that are important when choosing the supplier to manufacture a leather product. Obviously, I won't include that in the response, but what I can do is copy-paste some of these criteria, because these are really interesting questions, and they're going to be included in my response to the suppliers. Then I'm going to regenerate the response to see if ChatGPT comes up with a better way. So it seems that it is pretty similar to what I got first time. Again, it is a bit direct by saying that I'm asking some other criteria that are important when choosing a supplier to manufacture a leather product. Obviously, I would not email that. But what I quite like about this is it gave me a first draft in terms of the type of questions I'm going to give to the supplier to better know the company. And that helps me scale quite quickly. I'm reaching out to a lot of suppliers in order to narrow down later with the ones that I'm going to have on the phone in order to truly understand how they work and better get to know them before selecting the one supplier I want to work with in order to make this leather accessory I'm working on. So I hope that this was a pretty helpful demonstration of how you could use ChatGPT to write emails.